Many are looking for answers about the New World Order and what I call the Marxism of the beast. It's something that chooses to mark us like cattle, the sum of man, the total, if you like, the number, rather than the son of man, the integral sense of being above controlling like cattle, above being a conglomerate for the Babylon New World Order to ride. So the beast is representing the marking like cattle, the branding. There's no way to rise up toward the divine under Babylon, under our modern elite guidance. They've lost all cultural connections to the divine. They've allowed these to become attacked by the beast like communism, because they represent what used to be seen as privilege, and a privilege now that's been misused and has become just money, the sum of man. So the mark of the beast is imperfection, the angst that brings, the outcast feeling, the basic, the sin, the names, the groups, the identity groups that have never received power before are clearly described in the book of Revelations as having 1 hour to rule with the beast. They've never had power before, is the clear explanation of this. And nothing could be truer than cultural Marxism's attempt to bring all these groups dissatisfied, for whatever reason, being considered morally unacceptable in the past. And now the beast is covered with these names. So they serve as perfect foot soldiers, primed to ignore normal human rights for the exchange given for their power to rule for 1 hour with this beast with one common purpose. The knee-jerk reaction that they tend to all have is towards their allegiance, their base allegiance, often to do with sex, gender, identity in the crudest forms. The natural impulse to protect that desire, that what used to be an outcast desire is now has protected status from birth, and what had protected status from birth now has an outcast nature, and their knee-jerk reaction is primed to attack this. So they use image, and the identity group image that they have kicks in before any other normal responses within common purpose training that is useful under the New World Order. But the beast, ultimately, the Marxist beast, the Marxism beast, the marked human beings, which we may eventually become, those that survive, will, hate Babylon, really. And ultimately it says in the book of Revelations, Revelations 18:6, that they will pay back double Babylon for her glamour, her empire. As we can see with the sort of the obvious reaction to the horror that happened, the police brutality and the riots happening now, is what is happening is this beast rising up of commonality of people paying back Babylon. A lot of it is Antifa joining in and pushing this too. So what we have is now the globe sort of all equalised in our sort of antipathy towards our rider, which is Babylon. And if we can feel that we are gaining something from, joining with this, if we can feel that we can buy our way into some kind of perfection or ideal or glamour that they have, we're happy to be ridden by it because we can share this wealth. But what we don't realise is what we're trading for it. We're trading, we've been traded beads, if you like, an identity to share, which is hollow, which has a hollow, inside, like a bead, really. And we become shells, just easily cast off, just husks, basically, because we're rejecting our inequalities, our inner sense of identity to become part of this conglomerate if we can do a deal with it. This is where I'll leave it for now, but I want you to understand the nature of the connection of the Marxism of the beast and how it fits in.